Hi everyone, instead of a review today, I got a little project video for you. Today we're going to be talking about how to replace Velcro with metal snaps. Now anybody who's used outdoor gear will tell you that eventually Velcro is going to wear out. Just with repeated openings and closings, Velcro just will not last, even high quality Velcro. If you look at this particular strap here, which I cut off of a bag, sorry I can't focus with this camera, if you'll listen here, it's not grabbing on at all. And that's just an inevitable part of repeated openings and closings. I mean, eventually the fuzzy part's going to stretch out, and the hooks eventually are either going to come out or they're going to straighten, and they're not going to latch on to the fuzzy part as well. So my answer to that is to replace it with these metal snaps, and I got two examples here to show you. This is a cold steel roach belly knife, which I reviewed previously, but the sheath I modified. If you'll look here, originally when the sheath came out, it had the loop like so, and for you to put this on your belt, you would have to undo your belt and then loop it through this little strap right here. So what I did was basically I cut this strap off, used a lighter to burn off the excess in order to seal off the threads, and then I added snaps. Before adding the snaps, I took my belt, or the one that I would wear when I went camping or hiking in the woods, and then measured out the exact distance that the strap would have to be to fit comfortably on the belt without it being too tight or having too much room to shift about. Once that was at the length that I wanted, took a permanent marker and marked the place where I would add the snaps, then just added them on, and now I can just like stick this on my belt and unsnap it just as easily. Makes me more likely to carry the knife since it is so convenient to just attach onto my belt. So that's a nice little modification that you might want to think about if you have a sheath where the loop is just where you have to attach it. This way you can just like cut it up and then quick place it onto your belt. Another example I have right here is a wallet, and this is probably more prevalent and relevant to more people. Is probably a lot of you buy like these cheap little nylon wallets and they have like a Velcro closure, and then after a while of opening and closing it, the Velcro doesn't work anymore. But that's easy enough to fix as well. Basically you just take this little thread cutter right here and you cut all the little threads that hold the Velcro in place, and then you just pull it out. Then once that happens, you can add these snaps. Now there's a saying in sewing, you measure twice and then cut once, and that's really true, especially for something like this, just because you want the placement to be exactly where you want. You don't stick the pins on both sides here. If you look, it's from one side of the wallet right here, or actually within this section. If you pinned it from this side, you wouldn't be able to open your wallet at all. You have to measure and go in from here. So that's something to look out for. But by adding a snap here, if you'll notice, you can open it and close it as many times as you want. It's never going to work, and it's never going to wear out. And it's just a nice little mod that you can think about. So anyways, back to the project itself. You can buy this little snap kit at any sewing store. It costs you about $7 anywhere, and you get like a little like 7 snaps, and then get a little base to hold it in place so that it doesn't shift about, and then you get this little driving rod that you place inside, and you use a hammer. Would have liked a smaller hammer, but you can use a regular size one to drive the pins in, and I'm going to explain that in a second. You have 4 pieces right here. So first part, these are the main parts that you would see when you actually have it in place. This is the male part and this is the female part, and then they snap into each other. I'm not going to snap it because I don't have a way to pull them apart, just because there's no handle. And then you have these little backing nipples right here that fit through the hole. And so the idea is, I'm just going to use this little strap as an example. What you would do is you would take a marker and mark where you want to drive the holes in. Be very careful about where the placement is. Take a lot of time. For example here, if you look at this wallet, I was a little too eager, and if I let this down, close down naturally, this little snap is a little bit too far to the right, but it works just fine. So measure very carefully, because once you do it, you can't undo it. So mark where you're going to put the holes, and then basically I'm going to start off with one section. Say you wanted this to be on the outside, because this is the brass side that you're going to see, like here on the sheath. See the little silver side? So you put this on the outside of wherever you want it to be. Drive it through the hole, like so. Now this might take a little bit of time, just because you're going to have threads to cut through. So once you make that mark, you can take a knife or whatever, or even a ballpoint pen and jam it through and make a hole. So you put the little nipple through the hole like so. And then, this is the corresponding piece. This is the female section of the thing. Put it through here, like so. And then, you can take the base. It'll sit nicely in the base like this. Like that. Fits in here. And then you hold it in place. Now you see that nipple? What happens is you're going to take this driving rod, take the pointy end right here, stick it over this nipple, then you're going to take the hammer. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to waste a snap, but you place it into the nipple and then you use a hammer to push this in. What that's going to do, it's going to split the nipple open and it's going to hold both sections in place. If you look here, let me just grab this. I don't know if I can get this to zoom in. If you look in the center right there, I'll use this as a pointer. You see this section right here? It's the pin being split open and it holds both sides together onto the material. So then I would just take that, stick this here, hammer it a couple of times until it opens up the nipple until it holds both pieces in place on the material. And then that's it for one side. The other side, just repeat. Now you want this piece, the female piece, facing the male piece, and then you want the nipple pieces on the outside. So I would take this other nipple piece, sorry, and stick it through the other hole, like so, like that. Fit this through here, like that. And then, whoops, forgot to put it in the base, sorry. Put this over the base. Like that. Put the driving rod over the nipple. And then hammer it into place and that'll open up the nipple. And then once that's done, you'll have your snaps. Now, I know that probably sounds complicated, but really, I mean, do it once and you'll pretty much figure out how it's supposed to be done. It's not that hard, costs you only $7, and for that, I mean, you can really improve how your gear functions. I mean, seriously, I can't tell you how easily I can carry this knife now. I mean, usually I would just throw it in my pack and forget about it, but now I actually have this on me when I'm hiking. Same thing with my wallet. I was really tired. I was about to throw this wallet out just because the Velcro didn't work anymore, but by adding these snaps, it really made it work. So that's my little thing about the snap kit. Hope I didn't make it too confusing for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, and thanks for watching. Alright, hope this helps. Bye.